Wow! It's 2 minutes to late night! What's up, whole-shelled pistachios from the nice part of the supermarket? Welcome to 5 Minutes to Cast Night. It's Father's Day, so we're just, I don't know, that's a dad snack.
Yeah, dads love that. Especially if they're from Israel.
Yeah.
The good ones.
Even my dad's from Ohio and probably just Hope.
No,
Ohio.
I didn't mean your dad. I meant the pistachios.
I was like, your dad, I didn't know he was from Israel, but he kind of had the Zohan hair.
Yeah. Yeah, he also loves Soda Streams.
Yeah, he left you a Star of David, so
That's
I can
true.
only imagine that it just,
Yeah.
came out of a gyro in the Dead Sea.
He actually didn't leave it to me. He just died, and I took it. So there is a possibility he did not want me to have this.
Yeah.
But if he did, he should have wrote something down.
All right, what's up? You're here with Drew and Jordan.
Hey.
That's it.
Hey, what's up? I'm Drew Kaufman, and I've reached that age where I take my shoes off any chance I get. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Speaking of Father's Day, I bought a kimono.
Yeah.
That's it. I have a kimono. I wear it in the house now. It feels great.
That's what David Lee Roth would do, who is our true father.
He's our spiritual father, David Lee Roth. He's doing some kind of show business now. He's like a DJ.
I think he hangs out with the DJ and just sings like over his own songs remixed in Vegas.
That's awesome.
It's a dream. That's what you're...
Is it a Vegas residency? Can we get him?
I don't know if it's a Vegas residency or he just won't leave. Like, there's a little bit of a difference.
I feel like he's just part of the strip now. I think that's how it works.
Right. Well, I know he lives in LA and he sells a tattoo sunscreen. Like, it's specifically made to make your tattoo shiny. Because he has that full Yakuza body piece now.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, he looks great, but only from the neck down.
The rest of his face looks like a seashell.
Yeah, it's weird. He's one of those people that like has enough money to buy new hair, but just won't do it.
Why isn't he doing that?
Do it. There's no shame in it, I think. Buy the hair. If you have the money, buy the hair. If you don't have the money, shave it off.
I was watching, today I finished Fleabag, and it was really great, but the guy who played Moriarty in the Benedict Cumberbatch horny Sherlock show or whatever, he was in it, and he's like, he's done enough, like, good, solid, like, he's always in, like, one of the, like, a British TV show that it's like, oh, look, it's a good one because that guy's in it.
Yeah.
He's clearly been in enough of him that he could buy new hair. He's at an age where no one would bat an eye.
Right.
That he's suddenly a little less bald.
Yeah.
And he's like pulling off like he has like a me haircut where it's like a couple of years it's gonna be there's no going back.
Right.
He's like at the age where he could afford it. He has enough money. I'm like, why don't you do that? Every TV actor has bought hair. Yeah. Rainn Wilson bought hair. If you were in the office, you bought hair.
Dude, Rainn Wilson bought hair before the Meg. After the Meg, who knows what he's going to look like? Also, we watched the Meg. That movie rules.
The Meg is
I
awesome.
love that movie.
It was amazing.
That's why I love Jason Statham, though. Jason Statham's just like, I can't buy hair. It ruined my career.
What was that? He was in some movie where they put him in a ponytail, like wig.
Was that Spy?
No.
Spy is good. The Meg is good.
Fast and Furious with him in it is great.
Excited for Hobbs and Shaw. I just wanted to like jump the shark more,
Yes.
Like I want to know because at this point they're basically superheroes and they're leaning into it and they're doing crazy stuff and I'm just like, all right, I would say that like 7 and 8 are kind of the same. Yeah. Like in terms of like batshit. I really wanted to just like...
There was a car waterfall in one of them.
Yeah, but I don't remember which one. Like I want... Neither. It's like, I want for like 9 fast, 10 serious. Like, I want them to have, like, a superpower where it's like, we've given you this pill, and in an emergency, you press this button and you spit a car out of your mouth.
I would love that.
Like, that's, like, and they're just puking cars out of their mouths. That's, like, what I'm waiting for.
Friend of the show from WrestleSplania, Rachel Millman and Kath, friends of the show, they pitched to me one time that they want a Fast and the Furious movie to be that they go back in time and have to ride horses.
Like Back to the Future 3, but I love it. That's great.
Like they go into a white room, it's like a sanitized room, and it's just horses.
Right.
like Clint Eastwood's son leads them into like look at the
What kind of Mustang is this? That's a real Mustang.
How many horses this baby got? 1. It is one.
They have to ride a mutant horse with 2 horsepower, and it's just got like 8 legs, and they call it the Spider.
Give me that spider. Kill me.
Just in subtitles, kill me. Kill me.
Yeah, it's Father's Day. Jeremy's getting married. Kat is on her way to England right now to do Kerrang stuff.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's a busy week for everybody.
Except for us.
We've been wanting to do an episode like this for a while. So what we're going to be doing on this episode is we're going to be doing commentary, just going back and looking at the pilot. Before we do that, Drew, did you listen to anything you liked this week?
Yes, but I wasn't ready, and now I have to remember what I listened to, because I also listened to what we're going to do for next week's episode, and it's put spiders in my brain. I can't think straight.
Yeah, it hurts. Well, this week, on Friday, our friends in Baroness put out Golden Grey, and I love it. It sounds really different. We were fortunate enough to get to go and hang out at their release party.
Yeah.
Go to their art gallery. See all the paintings that Baisley did for all the albums. They were gorgeous.
We got to drink beer in a tiny bathroom with them, which was cool.
There was a ladder in a bathroom, and all I wanted to do, and my new goal in life is to shit off of a ladder. That sounds awesome. So fun.
Easy goal too.
You'd think. I've never seen a ladder in a bathroom before.
That's the thing, is you need to find it. You don't want to bring the ladder in.
I'm not bringing the ladder. It's got to be a part of it already.
That's for poor people. You want to be rich enough to have a bathroom with a ladder in it. You buy the house, you're like, I'll take it as is, and the ladder's still in the bathroom.
I just think I want a ladder to everything, because I think everything would be a little more fun. I wanted a ladder in front of my sink, and so I can spit from really high up when I brush my teeth.
You've washed dishes, but have you washed dishes from 8 feet above?
Yeah, I would take a bath if I could jump into the bathtub. You know what I mean?
Or just take a shower where you're like your head is above the shower head, so it's just spraying at your junk.
It's like when you go to the beach and you're just blasting sand off of your feet.
Right.
Yeah. I would love that. But either way, we made a lot of posts about how excited we are about the Baroness record, and a lot of people were I saw a lot of comments on it about people being upset about the way parts of the album are mixed, and that's fine to have a whatever opinion you want about an album. I thought it was a little weird to post it on our stuff where it's it's very clearly a post where we're just congratulating people we know who are just who worked hard on something. Yeah. You know, they put it it's a double disc album. It's a lot of work. Yeah. This shouldn't be the thread in which the conversation about what you think the mixing of the album sounds like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why we're kind of talking about it, and the reason why it's kind of a little mean, is that I don't think people wrote it to be mean. I think a lot of fans like our show, who like our stuff, also like Baroness, and maybe the mix wasn't something that you enjoyed, but to say it like that in a public space on the day of the release, it comes off as very mean, and it might feel like you're just stating your opinion, but I imagine it a lot being if you went to a child's graduation party.
It's you got a BA. Why aren't you a little doctor?
Yeah. Tiny doctor.
And it's I don't know, I'm good at reading books and painting. Who cares? Be a doctor. Baroness are not inexperienced. They didn't get the album mixed badly. It's not an accident.
Yeah, they didn't have Bob Rock being hey, what if we recorded this in a submarine full of piss?
The album... Yeah. The album is intentional. I kind of know the spots that people, I think, are talking about where the drums are really hot, and it's, it's a choice. This is a very different album. It's a very experimental album. It's a little bit of a work to get into it. It's like when you're trying to get into Yes for the first time. And you gotta like make it like if you're doing like close to the edge,
right?
Like you gotta make it through like 2 minutes before the song starts,
right?
Even sort of starts.
But to be fair though, I never had to get into Yes. I was born into Yes because I'm Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I just started wearing a gold chain. Fuck! I'm Carl.
Yeah, you were fucking. You are. If you start wearing sweatpants, it's over.
Oh, yeah. They're so comfortable though.
They're really. I'm wearing them now. It's awesome.
I know. And I was just gonna say, like, I really, I'm taking my shoes off now. I kind of want to start taking my socks off, but then I'm one step away from flip flops and one step away from my neighbors being a Happy Meal.
I like what they did with the record because it makes the recording a different experience and everything. It's like ear homework, but it's very rewarding when you complete the work. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on from that. Did you find out did you figure out what you listened to?
Yeah, I just remembered what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this awesome band. I brought them up, I think, before. This really cool band from Atlanta called the Callous Dowboys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they rule. They're really great. They're putting out a new album called Die on Mars. It comes out probably a week after this is released. I don't know. I think it comes out in 2020 something. They got 2 music videos out now. And they got written up in alternative press. It was like the 10 best new bands in hardcore, and they're number 3, which is awesome because no one reads past 5.
No.
Like you read the first 2 or 3 and you read the whole paragraphs, and after like, all right, who's got the funny pun name? And Callous Cowboys are awesome. Yeah. They're kind of like being heralded as the second coming of the Chariot, which I think is dope. And they're good. Yeah. They're good people, and I think the songs are awesome. It's loud and crazy and funny, like not afraid to be funny, but like I think it's cool shit. If you like, if you like the mathy grindcore stuff, you'll like it. And if you don't like it, you'll go to their Instagram and leave mean comments probably.
I also this week I listened to Micah Brucey was a guest on the Earth Crisis episode that we did, and he brought up the band Candy, and I just started listening. Dude, I listened to them just like on the L train the other day, and I left, and I'm pretty sure someone stole my wallet. I think it was the album. Yeah. That album beat the shit out of me. Yeah, it was awesome. Really awesome. Those guys kick ass. Yeah. Good job, Candy.
Candy rules. Yeah. I played Chemist for my brother's fiance, and she really liked it.
That's great. Yeah. Chemists are great. They just make you want to ride a horse like a little fast, but you're not fighting anybody yet.
It makes a horse want to ride me. If that makes any sense, you are drunk.
All right, so let's just get into it. This week we're doing commentary on the pilot episode of 2 Minutes to Late Night. When was the last time you watched the pilot?
I watched it right before we decided to do, the full season and started with the Walter Schreifels episode. Yeah. Because the reason I watched it is because I wanted to try to kind of like recapture what we did. Because I remember really liking the pilot. I mean, of course we were proud of it, but there was something that happened between episode 1 and episode 2 where we just sort of we tried so many new things on the second episode that I think you and I both kind of felt a little detached from that episode. Like the second one is not my favorite for sure.
I kind of agree with that. I think this episode, let's focus on this one. Sure. The first thing we wanted to do after I like kind of pitched the idea to you, after that network wanted to see just a pilot of the show. The idea, like their first idea was we were going to hire Dave Hill. You pitched Dave Hill. I didn't know who he was, and then when you showed him to me, I was like, wait, yes, I do know this guy. Yeah. I remembered, because I had seen Heavy Metal Grasshopper. I did not know about the Black Metal Diaries, which was your...
Yeah, so he did this thing called the Black Metal Diaries, which is really funny. In like 2006, I think he emailed like black metal bands just being like, I'm in a band called Witch Taint, we're the heaviest band ever. And like no one responded except for this one band, and they were just like, that is impossible. How can you be the heaviest band ever? We're the heaviest band ever. And it was like an actual, like Swedish death metal band. And he did that for like 2 years. They just back and forth, and he would read it like as a monologue. And he was also like, I think he was writing for an Adult Swim show at the time. I can't remember what it was, but he was, he was an up and coming comedian. He was really funny.
It was super funny.
And the only person that I knew other than Brendan Small who liked metal. So that was like the first thing that came to mind, because I didn't know where Brendan Small lived, but I knew that, that Dave Hill lived somewhere near us.
Yeah, and also now it's really fun because Witch Taint literally just had their first show.
Yeah.
As a real band, and it's
great.
Super funny.
Yeah.
Check them out. They're going to be releasing an album soon. They're having another show at Vitus soon, so if you're a local Brooklyn person, come check it out.
Also, Dave Hill, if you don't know this, Dave Hill has a band called Valley Lodge, and he wrote the theme to John Oliver's show on HBO.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Every time you watch that show, Dave Hill gets a nickel. I don't know if that's true, but watch the show.
Cannibal Corey's Rabbi gets a nickel every time.
Yeah. But he couldn't. So we reached out to him, but he couldn't do it. We should make that. Yeah.
Yeah. He was on board to do the pilot for a really long time. I think till like a week before we were gonna shoot.
Yeah.
And then he got hired by ETV Entertainment.
ET's the alien. E is entertainment television.
I love that. But yeah, he got hired to go do a bunch of stuff with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro.
Oh, it was the internship, right? Was that the movie?
I think that was the movie, so he had to go do that, and I was like, I get it, get paid, man.
Yeah, because we can't.
We're gonna pay him.
So originally, I think he was supposed to host.
Nick was supposed to host.
Oh yeah. Originally, he was supposed to host, and Nick was gonna host, and
I was gonna be the Nick character. I was gonna be the sidekick.
Right. But I mean, Dave. Originally, it was gonna be Nick was gonna be the host, and Dave Hill was gonna be Dead McMahon, which was his character.
Yes.
And then what had happened was Dave Hill. So basically, Dave Hill couldn't do it. So we had kind of a test shoot.
Yeah, we did a little rehearsal.
Rehearsal thing where Nick tried to host, and you put on corpse paint for the first time, and you were the sidekick.
Yeah.
And we kind of found that the dynamic worked better because Nick just is completely unhinged in the pilot.
Yeah. We realized Nick just wants to be fun. It's one of those things where, we realized the dynamic of the show. We need a Kermit the Frog to be just someone that is just kind of trying to push the show forward.
Right.
While everyone else is fucking it up.
Yeah.
And Nick is a tornado of chaos and Family Guy quotes.
Yeah.
So
he's gotten a lot better. I don't think he's done it in a while, but when we were first shooting the pilot, we kind of he would panic and he would do a Family Guy quote.
No,
because Nick's not a comedian, and he didn't realize you can't tell someone else's joke. Which is really funny though. It's really, I love it. I thought it was really funny. But
anytime Nick does a Family Guy quote, I do actually think it's very funny.
Yeah. So we ended up. So this also happened about 2 days before we were supposed to start shooting. Everybody was booked. We'd figured out who was gonna be doing the crew. We had our times planned, and it just sort of came down to this moment. I remember we were at Duff's, which is a metal bar. Of course it is in Brooklyn.
It's like the chain restaurant version of St. Vitus. I love Duff's, but it's very clearly the rock and roll Burger King of St. Vitus.
Right. Yeah. It's like St. Vitus if the bartenders, if you put if you gave them a tip, they sang to you like at Johnny Rockets.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember it was me, you, and Nadia who plays Weird Elvira. We just kind of sat there and we just sort of had a big pep talk of all right, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do it the best that we can, and you're gonna host because you're the perfect person to do it. It makes sense. It's your idea. You are the most talkable person I've ever met. You can have a conversation with anybody.
Aw, bitch.
Nah, shut up. No, but it was just it just came down to this all right, we got to trust ourselves and it'll work. We just have to. You have to be you.
Yeah.
And we'll all make sure that the machine is well oiled. Thank God we had the best crew of people who really kind of seized the realm, because we didn't really know what we were doing, and people would come up and be like, where should I put this light? And I was like, put it wherever you want it, which is why there's a light in the middle of the shot. If you look at the pilot episode, you can see the lights. But honestly, we're going to watch the episode and we'll talk about it minute by minute.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that people really liked about the pilot. They were like, I love how DIY it feels. The fact that you can see the lights. This is a year after Eric Andre came out.
Yeah.
And normal people had not seen Eric Andre. This is still kind of in the world of let's do a little bit of mean comedy. which we got away from. We decided to stop being a little mean. But that was a thing that like worked for the pilot, and then immediately afterwards I was like, all right, going forward, everything has to look perfect, because pilot can be a little clunky, but you can't have that forever, you know.
Like, we didn't plan on anybody seeing this.
Yes, this was actually like kind of a presentation, I guess.
Yeah, this was literally just like it was just a sizzle reel. There wasn't an audience.
No, there was an audience, but it was all our friends.
No, the pilot had no one. Remember? The pilot episode is just we're alone in the room and shooting. The John Baisley episode had an audience of our friends. The first
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, no one's in the room. This is Vitus at 10 a.m.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's the craziest part to me is I remember feeling so weird and just uncomfortable in the host role at the beginning because I needed like a beer or two to just like be able to talk to no one.
That's right.
Like to talk at literally nobody.
I forgot that the laugh track in the pilot is just me laughing, and then you put all this like like YouTube rip like clap laughing audience, you know?
Yeah, we gotta. It's
crazy.
It's so crazy. There's so much stuff. We'll talk about it at the end, but I think right now we should just get into this episode. Let's see what we remember, because there are some people who are fans of our show who have literally only seen the pilot, which is crazy to me, and they bring up stuff that I don't even remember we did. Yeah. The only joke that I remember that is in this is Enter Sandad, and I can't remember what part that is. All right, so we're gonna be starting the pilot, and if you want to watch along, just follow this countdown. We're gonna be starting it in 3, 2, 1.
That's Travis from First to Last.
Doing the voice. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at Steve's hair. I love Shaggy Steve.
I know, it's really fun.
We found that guitar in the Vitus basement. Right?
We did. We found that guitar.
We broke it.
It's one of the 2 guitars.
We bought that desk in the Bronx.
We did.
Not that matters, but.
Thank you. Welcome to 2 Minutes to Late Night.
Audio peaks.
Yeah.
Good mix. Zoom lens.
If everyone was a backyard wrestler. I'm your host, Arsenio Hall. Guys,
Oy vey.
Again, one more time for my house band, Nick Cagio and
Yeah, you can see the light.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
My favorite thing is that you learned how to do color correction on this, but you did it on your laptop. That you're looking at the screen, it's like
they look like the
quarter of an inch.
A Disney movie that takes place in South Carolina. You look like Violent J running for senator. I mean, you look like Ted Nugent's cigarette. Your guitarist looks like Jason Schwartzman teaching a Taekwondo class. And fucking Ben, well, you look great, bud.
Oh, Ben is such a swan.
We also have to mention this is the first time we ever met Ben.
This is the first day we ever met Ben, yeah.
It's 2015. Everyone's gay. Everybody, we got a great show tonight. From the Dillinger Escape Plan, wrist stick magician Ben Whiteman is on the show.
Did we break that Baphomet?
No.
Which thing did we break?
I broke the hands. I broke George's hands.
Singer-songwriter Laura Stevenson.
We could never find that megaphone ever again. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember the megaphone was just lost in the basement.
Los Angeles, California, where our weather correspondent Randy Simmons, let's take it from fucking dancing zone.
That's still funny.
Yeah, Randy Simmons is not his name, by the way. That was just a thing Nick said, and that's what it is now.
I forget what his actual original name was, but since we just have been named, we just gave him a different R name every time.
Yeah. And this is of course Sam, who's
Sam
one of our
Norman.
best friends.
My first guest looks like an evil pimp from Game of
I've lived.
Thrones.
You lived with Sam. I lived with Sam.
I lived with Sam for like most of my adult life.
I forgot that all of the songs are Mutoid Man songs because we were afraid of getting sued.
Yeah.
So we had to make sure that we got permission to do had to do songs that we knew we had the permission.
Yeah,
to.
well, yeah, we knew that if anything would happen, we get sued by one label.
Right.
Sorry, Kathy.
Thank you for not suing us, Kathy. Who's definitely not listening to this.
Nope.
You gotta turn over and talk to me. Why do you play guitar like there's a snake trying to kill you?
It's a good question. You know, when you're not really good at your instrument.
Look at his little goatee.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at how out of focus he is.
I know.
Doesn't get this guy a humble pie.
Oh, that's such a cute gag.
Yeah.
I see spared no expense on the set.
No, not at all.
I'm just gonna.
That's a full range.
That's actually my new black metal band's name.
That was when I shut off the amp in the background. That's because I literally forgot that we had to do that at the beginning of the interview.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Nope.
They're drinking.
We
We should mention that we're all wasted.
Every single person is drunk on this episode.
Yeah.
And that's also why it took us 9 hours to shoot it.
To Mr. Brent Hines of Mastodon. It's very odd.
R.I.P. Giraffe Tongue Orchestra.
Yeah.
Have they done anything since then?
No, I remember that Ben was really excited because he's like, you guys are going to get like the first interview about Giraffe Tongue Orchestra because he didn't know that this was going to take almost a full year to like finish and release.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love
I
that
think
guy.
they had... Oh, man.
The stick toss.
We had to stop doing the fetch bit because there was an audience.
Yeah.
We couldn't throw shit at the audience anymore.
A rumor of a story about you guys going to the Grammys together. Do you want to?
Yeah, it was his day
I-
for the Grammys.
There was days you was at the
And he
Grammys.
got kicked out.
I remember that we at the end of this had to like saw apart the desk and take it outside so a weird guy in an ice cream truck that had
Yes.
that was just full of metal
Yes.
could take it away and melt it down.
Yeah, so basically we bought this desk and we bought it like in the Bronx off Craigslist, drove it back, kept it in the basement. We kept everything in the basement. And George was like, you can't keep the desk in the basement. George owns St. Vitus. And we were like, all right, we'll just put it out on the street. And he's like, you can't put it out on the street. It's too big for trash. So we had to find a scrap dealer and everybody wanted us to pay them to take the desk. And then this one guy was like, I'll take it, but you have to destroy it. And so he shows up with a in a, like basically an ice cream truck, and we take axes and just destroy the desk.
Yeah,
Really cathartic.
it was really awesome. It was like the axe throwing bar, but not lame as hell.
Right.
Not for douchebags.
Also, that couch,
It was for assholes.
Yeah, exactly. That couch is still in the basement of Vitus, and literally every inch of like the black leather has been removed by either piss water or bands picking it off to eat it, or I don't know what you carry bullet belts scraping it off.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And Nick's suit. Nick doesn't wear the suit after this episode. In any other episode because someone just immediately peed on it. Like, he took it off, he left it there overnight, and one of the bands that played that night just pissed on it.
Right.
Just covered it. If you see, pretty much if you don't see anything reoccur on this show, it's because someone peed on it.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. Thin Liz has never shown up again because
She's covered in piss.
She's covered in piss.
Yeah.
This is why I miss
the
couch.
Damon laugh for no reason.
Yeah. Oh right, this fucking sketch.
Underexposed looks good.
Yeah. Did what we could. I remember we shot this the same day as the pilot episode. Oh, another thing, the pilot is 2 days cut together.
Yeah.
There's
Laura Stevenson was a second. It was a different day. We couldn't get them all the same day.
Yeah, this was on a Sunday, and then Laura Stevenson was a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, so we shot everything with Ben. It took like 8 hours because we had no idea what we were doing. We had to do multiple takes. We had to learn how to do everything.
Yeah.
Then we got hamburgers, and he was the coolest dude on earth. And I remember he just talked about us with so much like stuff, and he was like, "Why didn't you ask us that?" Well, the cameras were running, and we were like, "We're shy boys."
We're shy, but you know, it feel like we were talking a lot about like Mike Patton, but it felt like everyone had. We tried to ask him stuff that people hadn't asked him before.
Right.
And we thought that that's what we had to do as interviewers, but no, it's. I've learned now. It's just you just have the right conversation. Like, and it can be about anything.
Yeah.
No one gets really sick of talking about something if you ask them in the right way.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of figured out. I think eating a hamburger with Ben Wyman and becoming friendly with him through that, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about this fucking sketch because this was one of the hardest things to put together in the world.
Yeah.
We wanted to do this sketch so many different times, but it is so hard to pull this off.
Yeah.
Because the original idea for this sketch was to do a drummer with Dave Lombardo.
Yeah.
It was the original thing because Weinman knew Dave Lombardo and was like, I could probably get him to do something. And it makes the whole sketch makes more sense if it's a drummer.
Yeah.
To be honest, because everybody needs a drummer.
Right.
And if Dave Lombardo just came in and just shredded over some shitty local metal band, that would be the funniest.
Yeah.
That's always been the dream of this version of the sketch.
Yeah.
But finding a band that needed a guitarist was hard.
Then was cool with us filming.
We had to lie about. We had to say it was a documentary about just bands auditioning people, just the local band scene in general.
Yeah.
And these girls were so cool with it. Celeste is just a really cool R&B singer.
Yeah. I ran into the drummer on the street after this was released.
Yeah.
And she recognized me and I didn't recognize her. And she gave me a huge hug and she was just like, that was so much fun. I love that. That guy is so funny.
Awesome.
You guys were so funny. We love you. And I was like, then we succeeded. Because somehow we made that sketch without making it really mean, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Because we were dumb,
awesome.
and we made mean stuff. Oh, man, a game show.
Yeah, it's a pun on Wheel of Fortune, but we don't have a fucking wheel, so we're just gonna...
Yeah, we stopped doing game show stuff.
The game show stuff was funny, but it...
Oh my god. Who made this graphic? Is this a Trevor graphic?
I think that's Trevor.
Yeah, all the graphics were done by our friend Trevor Clifford. I
very
forgot
good.
that everything was in Iron Maiden font originally.
Hey, I'm Sam.
Oh my god, Samantha!
Round one, grindcore
Samantha with a cool fucking Morticia Adams hair.
Don't make fun of her hair.
No, it's awesome. I don't think
I
it's
know.
bad.
Sam is great. She's an answering machine. We talk about them all the time.
The Machine is
Question one.
the best punk band in Brooklyn.
Gluing carpet to your genitals does not make you a cantaloupe.
This was just the Locust was your reference.
Yeah.
Google translation.
No.
This was interesting because
It was a grindcore song.
I learned something really weird that I didn't know, and it sounds dumb that I didn't know it. But basically, Ben was like, yeah, I haven't listened to new music since the 90s. So I figured, he would know his contemporaries' music, but I also assumed what his contemporaries are, and I was very, very mistaken.
Yeah.
I figured, he knows the Locust. It's like, he only listened to Chris Cornell, you know?
Yeah. Well, he's also... Because Dillinger is 10 years before there was the Locust.
No, they're around, the same time, but, the Locust is, a completely different scene, because they're just,
Translation.
they're
the
fuck you music, you
yeah,
know?
they're the Aquabats, but through an AM radio.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this next bit.
Question number 3. Looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight.
I still don't know what Party Smasher Inc. is.
No one knows.
By the way, I've had Ben explain it to me many times.
Somebody hit hot stuff.
So someone in the YouTube comments just commented a month ago that we got the year wrong on what year Donna Summer's hit came out. Hot Stuff came out, I guess, a different year. Fuck you.
Sorry, Donna.
Sorry we ruined your experience watching a 3-year-old thing.
I love Donna Summer, and I'm upset that we fucked that up. Oh, this is me. This is me recording a sound alike of Cannibal Corpse.
I hate my dad. My dad's a cunt. Enter Sandman.
I love that. But yeah, all of the songs in this part were recorded. I think this was after the. like right before we decided that we were gonna release this, and we couldn't put the actual songs in there.
Right.
So I was just in my bed recording all of these on my laptop. Look, I love Ben going like, I know this one.
Hammer smashed cunt.
Oh,
this is still funny.
This is still so funny.
Enter Sandman.
I love this so much.
Hammer smash face.
Did you tell
I
Nick
didn't tell
to put
the news on his neck?
news on his neck?
No,
he
he
just
did
that.
Yeah. And we were terrified he was going to hang himself because that's tied really tight to the top.
It is.
Yeah.
Alright, here are your choices. A. Enter Sandad. B. Enter Sand Cunt. C. Enter Sandra. D. Enter Sandra.
Yeah, I think all of the laughter in this episode is from like Married with Children.
Yeah.
Donna Summer's 1979 hit Hot Stuff.
Oh, Nick laughing at his own joke. Love it. But we also didn't tell Mutoid Man to play anything.
No,
they just did it, and they were so good.
Yeah, we didn't tell them like what to do except for just play when people come on stage.
Yeah.
But they just naturally put this shit
That
together.
was
super
Steve's
fun.
idea to do Friday the 13th over 8 for to
the game
introduce
show.
this game show. Yeah, that was his idea. It's so good.
Yeah.
Lemmy's the most
Perfect.
violent person on the planet. You're both wrong. Airhead's the movie.
This is when Lemmy was still alive! Oh my god! Oh, he died a month after we shot this, I think. Because he died around Christmas, right?
You're right. Yeah, he
Yeah.
died right after we shot this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nick is very dangerously close to hanging himself.
Yeah. Nick
I
almost fucking died.
I really
doing this.
wish that he didn't do this. And he also would... No transition whatsoever. Great.
Nope. Oh, you know what? The other goal of this pilot was it was supposed to look like VHS.
Oh, yeah?
I think the whole thing is we were gonna put it through like a VHS process.
Yeah. The other goal of this pilot was to kind of just, like, show that we are, like, metal themed but not a full metal show. And that's why we got Laura, because we listen to music besides metal.
Yeah,
And
I love
Laura's so
Laura.
great in this.
Putting family photos in the bathroom.
That was your joke. I always loved that.
Yeah.
Family photos in the bathroom is a very good joke.
Yeah, it's where you poop. Why do you do that?
Fuck is up with that title?
This is a really good record title.
Are you penis positive it's a good record?
Nick.
Boo.
Because you have a noose behind you?
Laura is very funny. And
She's super funny.
I wish that we had done, like, a full cut of this interview. Because the thing is that, you know, we interviewed her for 30 minutes to cut it down to 6. We probably interviewed her closer to an hour because we didn't know what we were doing. And there's some really interesting stuff, and she's super funny.
I remember,
So it's you're in love with your bass player?
I am.
this part, you know, I remember somebody brought up that it was like, you know, weird that the only woman on the show we asked her about like marriage, but she brought that up to us before we shot.
Yeah.
And she kind of wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
Which I thought, but I do see why that seems super weird.
Yeah.
It
It is, but it also is just like, unfortunately, you're kind of a slave to the conversation, especially when you're editing down. And you can't, you know, like, people go on tangents naturally when they talk, and you have to either cut out the tangents, or you have to cut out what leads up to the tangent if you want to make it work in a 6-minute environment, you know? So we just kind of had to keep it because it was the most interesting and personal thing about herself.
And it's also just a good, you know, talking about relationships when you're in a touring band, or you're a musician and you're just, you know, everything's kind of always constantly changing.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep a constant, like, a relationship, like, going during all that. So it's an interesting conversation. And, like, Ben didn't have a farm yet or anything. Ben was still in Dillinger Escape Plan when we did this interview.
Yeah.
They
Like,
hadn't even broken up yet.
yeah, Draft Tongue was supposed to be like a big crazy thing, and Laura I think told us that this is like the first time that she was like publicly announcing that she's engaged to her husband, who she's still married to, which is pretty dope.
That's pretty dope. Everyone I know who has been close to me, who's gotten
bad
married.
Color correction. Look how green it is behind Steve.
This was the hardest shot. I remember this interview when I was trying to get it to match the rest of it. It was really rough.
Yeah, we also, like, none of the cameras matched. Like, we did not. We just hired people that we knew had cameras. So, like, this is like a mix of shit. Yeah. I
love Ian Hoban did a great job being the first
and Callie, who we've shot with since.
Yeah.
Jorge.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Warla Stevenson.
Did Jorge shoot this first episode?
I don't remember, I was drunk. We'll see the credits. Oh man, I wish that hat stayed on. That was
I know.
The best part about this is that
shout out to Nikki Maltezos for this fucking sick Guar outfit.
Yeah.
She's a really great and unique costume designer in Brooklyn, and like she works on just like a ton of movies, and it's really cool. She looks like the nanny, but Super Saiyan. It's awesome.
The biggest thing about this though is that Laura was so psyched on this. She was so excited to put on this costume.
Yeah.
Because it's like outside of like her wheelhouse at the time. And I mean, not that she dresses up like Guar right now, but
no.
And then just when the hat, you could just see because the hat's falling off that she's, this is 2 takes spliced together, she's not going as crazy as she wants to because the hat's falling off.
And the shoes are big.
Yeah.
You gotta get used to, like, even Gene Simmons can't wear his big shoes and rock out. Like, also.
Oh, look at you!
Oh, right.
This was so cute because you were like, "Can I play with you, Mutoid Man?"
Can I play? Oh, no,
they were hyped on it. They wanted you to do it because they're the best.
Well, I was like, do you need someone do you want to try to do the harmony of the solo? And she was like, sure.
Yeah. Nah, they were really excited that you did it.
But they killed it. The footage is 2 takes of footage, but the song is 1 take.
Song is 1 take, yeah. There's a little bit of, like, if you look really closely, some of the takes are not synced up perfectly because we had to get, like, the best shots of Laura, which is hard because the hat was falling off. Oh, God, Nick looks so gross.
What? Yeah.
I'm so glad we stopped putting face paint on Nick.
You know what it was? Is Nick didn't have, when we first talked about the show, Nick hadn't grown the beard yet.
Right.
Nick used to be just a little baby face.
Yeah, he looks so much better with the beard because when he's clean shaven, he looks like he's 11 years old and he's gonna try to sell you cigarettes.
I like both. I think both versions of Nick are very
I love
handsome.
Nick no matter how he looks, but I just think when a tiny baby is quoting Family Guy, it's just really weird. Laura's dance.
Yeah, I love that dance. I haven't seen Steve play that guitar in such a long time. Also, I just noticed that's Nick's jacket on top of the Ampeg case head. I forgot about this.
You climb on top of him.
That, I think... Hold on.
Laura's joke. She wrote this joke.
She did write this joke.
Fantastic, everybody. Laura, you said you came up with a Guar name for yourself?
Chlamydia Newton-John.
It was so hard to pull the audio out of that.
Today's weather brought to you by Del Taco.
Oh my god, I forgot about... Sam just sent us this.
Yeah, he sent us like 3 takes, and he just rambled, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
As long as I'm fed. Back to you, Borsenio. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show.
And if you look real closely, you can see me in face paint.
Stay tuned.
Oh yeah!
Because Kevin, the undead producer, got cut for time.
Yeah. I don't even remember what that joke was, to be honest.
I just walked on stage and was like, "Hey, we're running out of time," and you're like, "Thank you to Kevin, the undead producer."
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nick Gonzalez did the graphics, not Trevor. Remember that kid?
Nick Gonzalez. Oh my god, you're right.
Who went over his handlebars in Thailand and knocked all of his teeth out and ruined his fresh chest tattoo because it was full of gravel.
Oh my god!
You guys don't need to know that.
Yeah, but that was a crazy story. He seems very happy now. He and his wife have a dog?
Yeah, dogs are good. I think everybody here came here for the dogs, and at the end of the story is that Nick Gonzalez has a dog, so does Jordan,
Oh, it's really fun to see that Max, like Max would be Max Kybers has been a part of every single episode and grew into being a camera guy for us.
Yeah, that's so cute.
It was really cute.
That went by really fast.
That went by really fast. I think it's because it's our shortest episode.
Yeah.
It's 22 minutes.
Yeah.
What did you think watching it back?
It's weird because 2016 doesn't feel like that long ago, but it feels like a vestige of the old internet, which makes sense to me because that's kind of like what we had to inspire us to make it.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of like I didn't like do a lot of stuff with Chris Gethard, but I'd been around the Chris Gethard show for a little bit, and it kind of reminds me of his old show, the Neighborhood Playhouse. Yeah. Thank you. The public access. It feels kind of, and that's why people, we put this out, and we got really nice response to it. We got like the nicest write up ever by AV Club, and keep in mind, like, we didn't have a PR person or anything.
No,
we just put it out, and we're like, what the fuck will happen, And people were like, I love that it feels like public access. I love that it feels weird and old and new at the same time. And that's like a mix of like knowing a little bit and knowing not enough.
Yeah, for sure.
If you told me that this is from 2010, it would have probably been, people would have said it was ahead of its time in a weird way. Because it's just like stuck in that world before everybody was doing something that it was like too big for them to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, I don't know. It's the fact that we made this is insane. Because also you and I, like, this was our life savings basically. We spent so much time on it.
We didn't spend a lot of money on this one. We spent money on the couch.
No. We didn't spend a lot of money, but we were poor.
We were poor.
Yeah. I had just started an office job that paid me like more than minimum wage, and I think you were editing video at that point.
Yeah, I was just I was just an editor and doing more stand up. Oh, you know what I forgot?
What?
The week before we filmed this, or a few weeks before we started doing, you started doing stand-up with me more often because we were like, we gotta be comedians. We're gonna be doing stuff on stage, and I had been doing, I did a lot more stand-up when I was in LA.
Yeah.
And I moved back here, and I was like, wow, the stand-up scene in New York is exhausting and very mean. Everyone's so mean.
So mean, yeah.
It's not as it weirdly for me it didn't feel as cutthroat or mean when I was in LA, but I was trying to do it more often when we were around this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was definitely doing more stand up, and you were like, I should start doing it too, and we kept going to like open mics. That's where you met Lucy for the first time, is doing her open mic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucy and I were editing. We were editing video together.
Right.
That's how I met Lucy. Like, Lucy knew about this. I think the idea for this show before anybody.
Oh yeah,
because we were in the same office
Even
together.
me, you prick.
Yeah. Well, I was just like, even before I had typed it out.
Right.
So I was like, I think I'm gonna, because I just have the conversation. You know what I forgot? I don't know if we should ever release these, but this first episode used to have monologues.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I don't remember
anything else.
The Undead Sound Guy bit. I don't remember where that went. I think there was something else that was in this episode.
So basically, we were, at first, I remember being like, we can't put monologues in it because monologues don't matter in the year 2015.
Oh, right. I had a monologue, and then we did Daily Show style bits. Where
the same thing. So basically, yeah, you were like, we have to do it because we have to prove that we can do it. That was the thing, is that this is like a salad.
Yeah.
Of, just like where they throw chicken and bacon into it because to let you know that they have it on the menu.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I'm not a chef.
I kind of want you to start a restaurant just so that's like you have a salad that has everything on the menu.
There is a term for like if you put everything in, but I don't know what it is because I'm dumb.
Well, we did.
We did everything though, but
we did everything that was a part of talk shows just to show that like this is how it would work on this show.
Exactly. So like immediately after you sit down and you say it's 2015, everybody's gay. We then went into like a bunch of monologues about kind of news, but they were like a little evergreen, so that in case they got released later, like it didn't matter. Like I remember very specifically one of the jokes was a venue in Minnesota said that they're going to ban metalcore. You can't have a metalcore act there. So I guess if you want to see a band named after a book they didn't read, go somewhere else. Yeah, it's a very us joke.
Yeah, and we made a graphic that said with a fake band called To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really fun.
Yeah, and so there was like 6 of those jokes, and then we kind of did like a closer look kind of monologue-y type thing where you went on a rant about how much you hate Black Sabbath. And it's very funny. Do you remember that? It's like 9 minutes long. It's very funny, but
that's what you guys told me to do.
I did.
You and Nadia told me to do that because well, it wasn't that I hate Black Sabbath. It was just like they're going on The End tour, and I'm like, good. They should. They're so old.
Yeah,
they gotta stop. And like now, look, Ozzy's still trying to tour, and like every week, it's like he has to. His body shuts down.
Yeah.
Because he ate an apple too fast.
So he loves those apples. He's got that tree in his backyard, and they've been trying to cut it down forever.
Yeah,
but the reason that I told you to do it, like I love Black Sabbath, and I love Ozzy, and I want them to tour forever. But the reason I wanted you to do it was the same reason that I wanted you to host it, is because you were passionate and you were well spoken and you knew what you had to say. And unfortunately, that was the wrong call, and it's upset Mutoid Man very much because they love Black Sabbath, and even now we're still a little bit afraid to talk about how, you know, if we have a little bit of a minor opinion of Black Sabbath, people get very upset.
Yeah, I will. You know, it's look here. I love like Master of Reality and Volume 4. I don't hate all of it. I just, I made fun of the stuff that's like, because Black Sabbath just for me was not the first metal band I had ever heard.
Yeah.
It's I heard them after I had heard a lot of other stuff, so it sounds just very much like the first thing of something.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like just guitar riffs that I thought that felt like 4-year-old me would be thinking about.
Right.
Just like really slow, but that's fine.
It's fine. You can like it.
It's fine. It was, again, it's kind of like the podcast where we just, like, I played up me having, like, a joke about something.
Yeah.
And we're comedians, you dip into just, like...
What do you think about Tool? Sorry, everyone.
But I've never listened to Tool in my life. I know the bass riff.
Yeah, but you have to remember, like, this is, like, 2015 when we're making this. So there's... no writer's room. It's just me and Jordan living together and thinking of jokes.
Yeah.
There's no thought of a podcast at any time in the future.
No.
Especially because people were like, so, I saw your podcast. It's really good. And we're like, we can't have a podcast because people already think the
show's a podcast.
Yeah. So, none of that, like, we just were kind of flexing our comedy chops. And it was like, all right, how do we make something that's funny? And you love a good filibuster, so we made one.
Yeah.
And it will never see the light of day because people can't separate reality from fiction, and they'll come to your house and chop off your Tony Iommi finger.
I don't know. Maybe people... maybe we'll release it. It's just
if we find it, that's the other question. Where the fuck is this?
I think there's got to be an old version of it somewhere.
Yeah.
I remember just making a joke about, like, the first airplane.
Yes.
and we drew the Wright brothers flying into LAX.
Yeah.
I loved that graphic. I always thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe if we can find the monologues, and if people want to, I would release the monologues.
If you
listen fun to find stuff we cut.
Yeah, if you really want to see it, if you listen this far, tweet at us, tell us you want it, and I'll find it.
We'll find it.
I think it might be on one of my hard drives back in LA. I think I know where it is.
Yeah. Any last things you want to say about this episode?
Yeah.
Are you proud of this?
Yes. That's actually what I'm going to say. I'm proud. You know, you look back. I went to film school. I have student films. I'll never ever watch them again. But I'm really like proud that I made them because I learned something. And I think that I learned more making this than anything that I did in film school. And the thing that I learned the most is like, I don't know, if you guys have an idea and you want to do it, find a way to do it. And I wouldn't be doing this commentary. I wouldn't be, not that commentary is the pinnacle of career or anything. No, but I mean, like, this is kind of...
One-time commentary recorder, Drew Kaufman.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did commentary on his own thing that no one paid him to do. No, but seriously, like, it's one of those things where if you do... I'm a perfectionist, and I have a lot of self-hate, and I go to therapy, and it's really great. Therapy's great, too, but that's a different thing. But...
everyone on the show goes to therapy. It's awesome.
It's true. Enter in code help my doo-doo brain to get 40% off. But I'm trying so hard to be serious. But it's like we made a thing. People like it. You're listening because we made this thing, and I can't tell you how many things before this that never got made because I was afraid or worried that it wasn't going to turn out well. And the thing is that if you want to do something, it's never been easier to do, at least video wise. It's never been easier to do something. If you're worried it's going to look like shit, it probably will, and hopefully you get a second chance, you know? But either way, you'll either make it and do something else afterwards, or it'll snowball. Like I had when I was a kid, I took like computer animation classes. My dream was to have a show on Adult Swim. And, you know, I'm definitely not getting that Turner money. But I was one day, like, riding on the train, and I realized, like, fuck, we have a show. We have 11 episodes of a show. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not on DVD, but it essentially is, you know, our own TV show that people watch. And that's really cool. And that would not have happened if I wasn't like, all right, I'm going to spend half of my rent money, my only savings, you know, on this project because I believe in it, and also Jordan needs it because he can't afford to do this by himself. You know?
Well, it was, you know, originally, you know, we didn't know we were going to be making it at the same time. Like, I just wanted the original plan was just you were going to write it with me.
Yeah.
And then when they asked us to, the network asked us to, like, go and, like, build the pilot, like, then we just tried to figure it out, you know? We had Ren, we had Nadia.
Yeah.
Just to try to put this thing together as scrappily as possible. And that's, I don't think, number one, I don't think this episode looks bad.
No, it doesn't. But I like to shit on it a little bit because I've learned, that's all.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I was color correcting all of this on my laptop with Magic Bullet. Mm-hmm. Trying to make it work. Trying to Ephraim Klein, friend of the show who worked also at Adult Swim, was helping us.
Right. Yeah.
Well, he worked for Tetmouse, which is it's Adult Swim. It's all the same thing. Whatever.
He's the editor of the Venture Brothers, which is our favorite show of all time.
He became the editor. It was awesome. Right. That is our favorite show ever. That's the biggest influence on me. It's like the dream of. If you want to be a comedy writer, you want to write a show like that, I think, where it can be just so big and gigantic, and you can just put every type of joke that you like into it. And that's kind of how we write the show, because we've found ways to do so many different things on the show, just like cinematic stuff. Like Poser Cops 2 is so cinematic in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know, we put we put stupid Marvel Comics jokes into this, like when we did The Punisher with Mastodon. This show has allowed us, and a lot of how it works is there's like a weird underneath narrative to the whole show where you know, people have to follow it to like understand who Cannibal Corey is and all this stuff. And we wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't. I think we weren't like trying to do some kind of weird homage to shows like The Venture Brothers, where it's just the narrative keeps growing and the world grows.
Yeah, absolutely, which is insane to do for a talk show.
Yeah, but we're fucking crazy.
We're crazy people.
Yeah, this was I love that there's a water bottle under the couch the entire time. But I liked that. I think it was one of those things where I'm always, I don't think after we did this episode that the DIY vibe, like the exact one that's in this episode, would be able to thrive in a bunch of others, because I feel like it would be us trying to recreate some type of magic, and I do like that we kept trying to make the show a little bigger each time.
So the only thing that I learned, so I mentioned that I watched this to try and figure out how to like direct the Patreon season, the real season, right? There are two things that I took away from it. One, you can't do these sideways angle wide shots. They look like shit. Two, purple is a really cool color, and blue doesn't work, because episode 2 is very blue. Purple, for some reason, is our show's color. I don't know why. It just makes the face paint pop. It makes everybody look just interesting.
Yeah, it's a good accent color for this stage, because otherwise it's a big black stage.
But that was the thing that it was cool, is that, like the first thing they were like, where do I put the camera? I'm like, I don't know. Where do you want to put the camera? And then we made the second episode, which was more of a learning process. And then, we did other stuff on the side, and we did new things. And then suddenly it was like, all right, well, if we're going to make a season, it has to look consistent. So we're always using the same cameras, more cameras than Jimmy Fallon. So again, fuck you, Jimmy Fallon.
Fuck you, Jimmy Fallon.
And consistent lighting so that every episode looks the same, and so that it feels like you're watching a really well thought out product, because you only get to make one pilot, kind of. We made 2, but we didn't know it was the second pilot at the time. But you only get like one shot at kind of making your experiment, and then after that you kind of have to know what you're doing if people are going to give you money. And this was really great to just not know what we were doing and figure it out. And if you at home have any ideas in your head that you want to get out as a real thing in the world, do it. Just fucking do it. It's really rewarding.
Is there anything you wish in this episode that we would have done differently, other than production wise?
Honestly, no. I truthfully wish that I don't wish that we had done anything differently, because the way that it worked out really well, that we learned stuff because of our mistakes. So I'm glad we made all the mistakes. I would actually make it longer. I think we were really concerned about making it 23 minutes because we thought that somebody would put it on network TV, and then we would get commercials, and it would have to be 30 minutes. But I think if we put like...
Well, that's why we made our own commercials eventually.
That's right. Of course. Yeah, we have real commercials now.
We have real
commercials.
Ass commercials.
But if I was going to do it again, the only thing I would do is I would like make the interviews a little longer, because they're interesting.
They are longer. Well, we did... There was I think there is, with the monologues and the full interviews, there is a version of this episode where it's an hour.
Yes. Yeah.
The interviews were longer.
I have no idea where that is. If I can find that, Patreon exclusive.
Yeah.
Unless it's horrible.
Yeah, no, it might be horrible.
Never mind.
It might not be great, but, because I remember working really hard to tighten this up, and I think that's really what works about it. I think it's one of those things where I would have... There's not... I thought I was going to hate this episode a lot more than I thought. Than I actually did.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't find a lot that I was like, the stuff that's funny is still really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think the opening bit where I'm introducing Mutoid Man, I mean, we had to insult each other to get the dynamic, but I think that it didn't come off very natural, and it's not how I'm glad that the show evolved, because we were mean. I think all the mean stuff in the episode doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it only works in the podcast for some reason.
Yeah.
I think because it's not scripted.
Yeah, and we're mean, like, about... I at least we try, I don't know. Humor's mean. Sometimes, a lot of the time. But I think us being mean to each other kind of went the fuck out of the window, because there's just such a family dynamic between everybody.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted it to be... And forcing... I think I learned that, like, forcing mean humor just doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I think some of the lines are pretty funny. Like, I think, like, Ted Nugent's cigarette is pretty funny. But like when I go to like make fun of Steve, I'm like, oh, why would I do that? He's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's also
beautiful, Steve.
It's also This is before like Steve was pretty confident about having lines and Ben pretty confident, and like if we had done it differently, they would have kind of fought back, you know?
Yeah. Well, they weren't supposed. It was just supposed to be me and Nick talking.
Yeah.
Like Nick was, everybody had such a strict role, and then we realized that Mutoid Man is just all like, because how the show even happened at the beginning is that when Steve was teaching me guitar lessons, that's how I just met him. Is through that. He just. Since I was a comedian, he had just brought up that Nick is so funny, and I needed to meet him and maybe do something with him.
Yeah,
I remember when he brought it up. I was pitching Steve the video I wanted to make of like Keith from Every Time I Die and James from Reggie and the Full Effect, just going and playing mini golf and talking about 10th anniversary tours.
Right.
And I thought that would be just a really funny and entertaining way to do something. Because I don't think E-Tit has ever done like a... They've been around for a long time, but I don't think they've ever done like this album all the way through or whatever. They've never done anything like that. They've always played all the songs from everything that they have. And I thought they were the right type of people to put together doing that. But either way, that's... I was like, it'll be funny if they're doing mini golf, and that's how it just turned into a
that was a cool idea. I still would love to do something with Reggie. I love
James so much.
If you've never listened to the episode of James on Andy Williams' podcast, where he's just trashed and burping and talking about like when he was the drummer of Coalesce and like has all these
awesome.
Stories. It's incredible. It's like hardcore war stories.
Yeah,
and he's such a funny dude. And he talks like that. Talks, and, like, come here, kiss James. It's incredible.
It sounds like he talks like a lawnmower that's just like gone through the desert and it's just like water.
Yeah,
water.
He talks like you if you were Cable from Deadpool. Like you just had seen so much shit.
I don't know, man.
I had to go back in time because my daughter got killed in a circle pit. They were playing Gutter Phenomenon.
Oh my god.
But we should probably wrap this up. But
let's wrap this up.
What would, as the interviewer, what would you change?
I would have not asked every question written down.
Yeah,
I think I would have started with, because what we started doing is we started off with one funny question at the beginning, and then the interview went naturally.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think my two favorite interviews, because they just kind of happened, and I was the least prepared, was Contessa Stuto.
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly, Matt Sweeney, because I didn't know what to talk to Matt Sweeney about because he was such a last-minute get. We'll do a whole other episode later. But I think I always felt better when it just turns into a regular conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's always necessary to shoot at least over 30 minutes, I think, when you're talking with somebody, because by the end, like, that's where the ice really breaks.
Yeah.
Because, I look stupid on stage. There's so many people, and every single guest we have always feels like pressure to be really funny.
Yeah.
And I kind of got to set it up in a way where it's like, you don't have to be right now. You don't have to. You just be yourself, and it will be funny.
Yeah.
By the end. But that's it. As an interviewer, I just think I would have just naturally kind of... I think I did okay on the Laura one, but yeah, with Ben Wyman, we had a lot of those questions prepared.
Yeah.
Like,
we were super nervous. We didn't ever done this before. Like,
yeah.
I'd written stuff, like articles, but I had never done an interview. And you had, done Warped Tour stuff, which is kind of...
Yeah, I'd done just, like, basic documentary interviews. Like, what album are you talking about?
That's in there.
What are you touring?
There's a joke that's cut, which was that we were going to ask every person on the show what they order at a Chinese restaurant, and that was supposed to be the end of every interview.
Oh my god!
And that was our idea. Is just like that would be our thing. We asked, "What do you order at a Chinese restaurant?" And then I remember when we actually did it, we're like, "Oh, they answered truthfully, and it's not funny. Why did we think that would be funny? What the fuck is wrong with us?"
Ben was just like, lo mein. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm Ben Wyman.
Yeah.
I have the smallest voice in metal. But Ben always sounds like he's down in a well. It's great.
Yeah.
Like his voice. All right.
Well, I think we should probably
let's wrap up. Yeah. Give us your plugs, Drew.
I don't think we have to do a plug for the commentary episode, but I don't know. At @die_Hellboy on Twitter and Instagram, and if you made it this far, tell us what you want on Twitter. Tweet at us.
All right, please donate to our Patreon, honorableswords.com. We're gonna be we have a new sketch coming out in a couple of weeks. We have another video that's gonna be. We're just gonna be releasing stuff. We're doing a show at Psycho Vegas. And we're doing a show at Fest this year. If you can't be there, don't worry. Those we're gonna film those and put them online, and it's gonna be really fun. But until then, enter Sand Cunt.
Sorry.